She burns the bridges in my head by lighting up a fire. Bury my old thoughts instead so you could feel the same. I live alone with you inside my mind. We would dance the night away to the morning light. Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. Yeah, yeah. And we give you. Good in the morning light, reflections in my mind. Missing the fights, I don't care if I'm right. Let's just buy a bit more time. I live alone with you inside my mind. We would dance the night away till the morning light. Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? Can I give you all of my love till we dance the night away? And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. And we give you all my love, all my love, all my love. Yeah, yeah. And we give you.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time. Buying things online and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. And we just slow down. For you and I are safe and We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we just slow waste another day. I will not stay. You say we need a change, feel that you need it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time. Buying things online, it's not like we need them. Safe and sound. I'm not the girl that I used to be. Sometime I'm more than words. I'm beyond what I once was. I don't believe in love. Hey, hey. If I want something, I got it. Hey, hey. Oh, baby, I know you love me. Hey, hey. Cause your love, I cannot buy it. Wasn't real with you, boy. Real, wasn't real with you, boy. You won't give me too much chances. I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. I'm not the girl that I used to be. Sometimes I'm more than words. I'm beyond what I once was. I don't believe in love. Hey, hey. If I want something, I got it. Hey, hey. Oh, baby, I know you love me. Hey, hey. Cause your love, I cannot buy it. Wasn't real with you, boy. Real, wasn't real with you, boy. You won't give me too much chances. I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. had enough of every melody. They all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the VCT Game Changers Academy presented by Gen.G. Semifinal number 1 is over, and that is GX3 advancing to the grand final. Congrats to them, and great effort by Just Breathe. Now we are moving on into our semifinal 2 matchup to see who GX3 will be playing for the $2,000 prize pool, and it's going to be between Nothing to Lose and the reigning champs in Gen.G. So, Wolf, let's talk about it. First map is going to be Ascent. Now, we've seen Gen.G on Ascent this broadcast so far, but we have not gotten any action out of Nothing to Lose. They are a seasoned squad. These players know exactly what they're doing, as well as Gen.G. Of course, our top 4 here today has been very just top tier. That previous matchup, the semifinals number 1, was amazing. So love to see that. And hopefully we're going to get, I'm going to say, 3 maps out of this one. Put it right there. So, but the first map, Wolf, as I was saying, Ascent, that's a Nothing to Lose pick. What are we feeling about these squads right here for that first match?
Yeah, it's going to be a very close game. We didn't have it on stream, I don't think, yesterday, but Nothing to Lose did play versus Fatality yesterday in their top 8 match on Ascent, and they won 13-4, so they were dominant on that map. Whereas, and we did see Gen.G is also dominant, so I think we're going to have a really close game, potentially going into overtime. Nothing to Lose did actually have an overtime game against Fatality yesterday, so they were struggling a little bit with that matchup. So coming into here, they've really got to hope that they have it together and that they just come in really hard off of the start.
So I'm calling 3 maps. Wolf is calling overtimes. Oh, this one's gonna get spicy.
Or we're caster cursing everything and it's going to be like a stomp.
True,
Hopefully not.
It'll be the opposite of what we just said. Oh, what do you think, Zombie? You got to cast a little bit of the matchups yesterday. Let's talk about Gen.G a little bit here. They've got Nothing to Lose. They're going up against Gen.G. Let's talk about they brought on the newest member with Lynn, this cracked zoomer, leading the squad in frags and just making all sorts of rooms as a duelist. Gen.G on fire. Ascent, how are you feeling, Zombie?
I love that, Lynn is the zoomer. Okay, first of all, because I think that describes her maybe being young, but also in the way that she's been playing. Kind of felt like yesterday she actually wanted to come out of the gates and kind of, prove that she could be on the top of the leaderboards. Didn't quite get there. Felt like she had to warm up a little bit, but absolutely seems like a great addition to Gen.G, which is already a great team, the defending champs after all. I am favoring them as I look at their history and I guess how close their respective quarterfinals were. But Nothing to Lose, had an equally great performance in the group stage and have proven to also be, just a spectacular team. So it's also like, number 2 versus number 3 seed, I think. So just it all kind of lines up to like, yes, we could see an overtime. We could see map 3. And I hope that we do. I really see it.
Yeah, it's like both squads here added some zoomers. Nothing to Lose added Marina, Lemon Oreo, 16 and 17 respectively years old coming in to and that's what I love about just Game Changers in general. You guys, every time you see me on broadcast, will always be saying it like this. I just love Game Changers initiative that Riot has began here, and the Academy even to be able to give another step or a stepping stone for competitive women to get their feet wet, and then potentially make it up and through. And even, we're seeing a lot of these fantastic players going into the challengers, the VCT challengers qualifiers as well, and doing some work there. So this is only the beginning. Keep up the great work, everyone. And if you're interested in getting your feet wet in some competitive women's Valorant, I think !Discord is what you want to hit in chat right now. Come on in. There's definitely some low stakes competitive action happening there in the Valorant server. We'd love to have you. And if you're already there, then you know what's going down. And if you've been thinking about it, stop thinking and do it. Just get some pugs up in there. It's so much fun. And we definitely already see how much fun everyone's already having in the Discord server. And this is how, we're seeing those Valorant teams and players come to fruition here, right? The Academy, then the Game Changers $50,000 events. We're seeing some of the squads up in, like I said, the VCT Challengers. While we're sitting here getting ready for this first matchup, I want your take as Mama Bear of Galorants, I'm going to say. Can you give us some words here real quick before we go into our second semifinal matchup?
Me?
I assume that's you. I've never been called Mama Bear in my life.
I was going to say, I don't think I've been called Mama Bear of
What?
Galorants before, but Mama Bear of like the caster program, yeah. But
Okay. I guess that's why I consider you Mama Bear, because you're like my Mama Bear. That's how I also met and learned up. So yeah. All right, quick words. Well,
no, I definitely agree with you. If you have any, inclination to play Valorant, if you are a woman or identify as a woman, you are more than welcome to come join our community. It's great, lots of fun. Even if you don't want to play competitively, as we just mentioned, we have a caster program. You can come join us, learn to do what we're doing right here. Might even do some hosting lessons with Lucy Leader. So that'll be lots of fun.
Yeah,
definitely should come check it out. Everybody in the community is just very nice, very easy to get along with. Find some friends.
Yeah, good times all around. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. Who is GX3 going to be playing in the grand final? Right now, our semifinal matchup number 2, Nothing to Lose versus Gen.G on map number 1. It's Ascent. Ladies, let's get to it.
All the love that was shown in this pre-show. It was so warm, feel cuddly. I had a little stuffed bear next to me, and I just hugged it. And I just like, everyone loves each other. It's all rainbows. No, seriously though, I have been super impressed with the Galorants, and then on top of that, super impressed with the VCT Game Changers. I mean, there's a lot of history in esports that kind of just didn't bother to focus on such issues. Like maybe, you talk to them and they're like, yeah, there's issues, and that's kind of as far as you would get, right? And suddenly Valorant is just ushering in this age of competitive woman leagues and competitive women on teams, because some of these girls are, definitely heading up in the challengers, and then even getting head up into the co-ed leads, being part of a co-ed team. I mean, it's just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of co-ed teams, and I think Lucy mentioned earlier some of these players going to compete in the VCT Challenger Series, we do see that Sonic's Bob is actually playing for Nothing to Lose during this tournament. So she's coming in as a Sova. We've seen her, if you've followed the Challengers, she has played in some games up there. Very fun to see her. I'm curious to see how she does on this team. I don't know how often she's actually played with these players, but she's coming in on her Sova onto Ascent. Really good map for that agent. We do see Carly on Gen.G is also coming in with the Sova as well.
Cool stuff. I love the name Bob, by the way. I was listening to you guys cast on Friday, and every time you just say Bob, I don't know, it's just something about such a short, quick name that kind of makes me laugh. It reminds me of like the Galaxy Quest, where they're just like, guy. I just always want to go, Bob.
See, the name Bob always hits off like the Overwatch Ashes ultimate voice line, where she just says, Bob, do something. That's what I always think of.
Are we allowed to bring that game up? Is that forbidden?
I don't know. We're going to move on from that, though. So we are coming into Ascent. We saw this in the first game of the first matchup. So very interesting to see how these two teams will play. We're definitely going to... I'm definitely assuming that GX3 is going to be in the chat watching this, trying to gain some information of how their opponent might be playing this map should it come up in the finals.
It's actually going to be very important stuff. I mean, the expectations here is that Gen.G BUMBLE is going to be over there in the finals, because they're the defending champs, but Nothing to Lose have also proven themselves to be quite the feisty team coming in. Not as clear-cut on some of their previous matches as perhaps Gen.G was, but still, both of them very, it seems, coming in here on equal footing. And we have, it looks to be a push onto the A site, slow and steady.
Yeah, and Lynn did grab that information. We do have the KO knife coming out, stopping her from using any of her utility, and Ari's able to come and get that kill.
Happened pretty quickly there. Gen.G already just down to 2.
Standing.
And make that 1 as Hannah gets taken out by Bob.
Spike planted.
I'm not gonna get over it, I love saying it. Carly is left over, and what can she do? Well, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, she can grab 1 of the 2, but they were covering each other. So that is going to be a cleanup there, and nothing to lose, starting things off with a round win.
Yeah, and that was a very aggressive, we've seen them in a couple of other tournaments here with the Gallerance Production Company, but as well as going with, like the Soccer Cup, they are a very aggressive team. They like to make these quick site executions. Very interesting here, though. The attackers are set up for another A hit, and the defenders have read this very well. Gen.G is going to come flying out of this gate as a 4-woman squad, running right on into Nothing to Lose.
Oh my goodness! That did not work. I can say something about that, and that's that did not work. Poor Gen.G. Just line themselves up to get mowed down.
I mean, did you really expect it to work, though?
I would have just been like, what the heck? Dropped my gun and ran away. Like, in-game. It would have been like, I've never... All 5 of them are on me, guys. I'm panicking. But, of course, nothing to lose. Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, they were almost prepared for that. I'm wondering if they had seen Gen.G do that kind of tactic. Or if it's just become the norm that, when you have a safe round, you should need to expect a more aggressive push from the defense that is saving. We do have Carly on an Odin now over on the B site. Looks like it's going to be this site for execution, but we are seeing Nothing to Lose. Take their time here, just getting set up, getting some information on where the defense might be sitting before they go onto this site.
I think you're absolutely right. Maybe that second round just become a little bit predictable, but once you get into the third round, things kind of calm down again. You actually see where everyone's coming in and who's positioned where. It does seem like Nothing to Lose are thinking about A. Tyre is ready there, though. He knows that something might be coming. Okay, only gonna start things off. And Tyre's back, but lives, I think, most importantly, and the rest of her team can come and help out defend A. Lily even thinking about coming around. Oh, she's gonna grab 1, maybe get the second. Oh, she's gonna have help. Tyre takes her down.
30 seconds left.
That is going to be Team Bumble. Still with 4 members on the board. Definitely a chance to get the retake here. The plant happens, but see if we can get the defuse. And Lynn starting to get some kills too, but Bob comes in. Gets 1, trades out 1. Yeah, the plant didn't actually happen, and now it won't ever happen. There's Nothing to Lose. Finally lose one of the rounds, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, pretty standard fare in terms of the first 3 rounds of a half so far in this game. So, curious to see how this is going to play out going forward. We do have 2 Odins on the field, 1 from each of the teams. That gun, I don't really see it a whole lot on other maps, but it is very prevalent in Ascent, both for the attackers and the defenders to pull out that gun at some point. Does look like, we have Nothing to Lose getting set up to at least make noise over on B. We did have the spike over there last round, but they shifted off. Ooh, and Bob taking out Carly with that Odin that we were just talking about.
Yeah, the Odin Wars and the Sova Wars look in favor of Nothing to Lose. So they are going to actually think about moving over towards mid. Starry Bun's kind of lining it up, seeing that everything's okay. Bob with the owl is going to see... I mean, there's some defense. At least the Phoenix is over there. Try and get the dart. Oh, and then actually try and get the Hunter's Fury. Where Lily's jumping around trying to avoid it, but only has so many places to jump in there. All right. Another pick. Well done. They're actually going to move into B after all is said and done. It's going to be that B play. And we have Tyre waiting. Going to grab one and maybe two. Gets it.
Spike down B.
Artstar, though, able to come back. Maybe grab two herself.
Last player standing. 30 seconds left.
All down to Hannah. All down to Hannah. It's only possible. Oh, she's going to be careful. Take on one person at a time. So far, so good. Spike still in that plant, but she's got some time to maneuver here. Artstar wants to get the plant because, you know, that timer, the timer to actually get the plant is what's actually decreasing right now. The plant's going to happen. Hannah can't stop it. It's all about the gun. All about the gun. She's going to get that shot. Nicely done, Hannah. That's a stressful situation right there, but she's going to grab the defuse.
Yeah, that was a really good knife, though, from Artstar, because she put it right in front of her and hit Hannah. So she knew that Hannah was going to be close there. Somewhere in her vicinity was able to get prepared and maybe suss out that she was over on the walkway there. Just wasn't able to quite get the kill. Hannah's mechanical skills with the gun proving a little bit better in that case. But not bad. We're at a tied game so far going into this round 5. Looks like the attackers are going to be heading towards the A site, setting up with all 5 of them over there. Little bit unusual for them. We did have seen the Spike spend more time towards the B area at the beginning of these rounds, so this is a little bit different. But just taking it slow, trying to suss out what the defense is thinking.
Trying to. Already getting for Artstar a little bit injured there. Now we have Lily. Maybe gonna find a knife in the back. Unfortunately, he was gonna run it back, so that's all right. Team Bumble, so everyone left alive. Getting some information as well from Carly's bot. And the Odin's still ready and raring to go. Not going to be the highlight right now as we have some trades over near the A sites. The Spike is going to end up landing as well. Oh, okay. All right, 2-for-1 deal right there. Tyre ends up finishing the jet off. Ariana, that's so hard to say. How do you say it quickly? You have to teach me.
Ari Anarchist.
Ari Anarchist. It's so hard to say quickly. That is going to be Team Bumble getting the lead here, 3-2.
Yep, they do finally take the lead. Really nice from them. Ari did have a really nice flank there. Just, I don't think the turret actually killed her, but it certainly looked like the turret got her.
It did, didn't it? And that's what the kill feed said, but yeah.
But does look like it's gonna maybe make nothing to lose. Reconsider that A site. They're heading over towards B this time. Not a bad choice. We do see only Bob on A waiting, or sorry, Carly on A, waiting for them from the Gen.G side. So if they push quickly, they could very easily take this site and have a post-plant defense. But Lynn from across the map with those knives for the first pick.
Yeah, that was nice. That was very nice. Okay, so that's gonna make it a little bit scarier. Push in. Especially since it looks like Gen.G do have a fairly solid setup to begin the defense anyways. Got them people rotate. Once they figure out everyone are moving into B. Trying to get through some wall. Wall bang there, not gonna find anything. And actually, Tyre gets taken out by Bob. Carly, not quite gonna be able to get more than one. It ends up 3-3, although just barely. Lynn's still looking for heads with these knives. The Spike gets planted. Let's see if they can actually defend it. Oh, the Tender Killjoy. Okay, we actually have a lockdown happening. It's been a great time. That apparently it doesn't matter because actually the fight's already been won. Nothing to lose. Are not going to be able to defend the Spike and are going to lose it another round.
No.
They just lined up for Hannah. They're trying to go for, I know what they were doing. They were trying to go for that lockdown to destroy it. Just really weren't paying attention to the lineup coming out of the B site there. Bit unfortunate, but That's okay. It does look like they are still able to buy, though if they lose this round, it's going to put them in an awkward situation in terms of economy. For alt utility, you know, they're pretty set. They do have their own Killjoy lockdown that they could play in order to take a site. There's no Hunter's Fury on the opposing team to destroy it, so now would not be a bad time to actually use that ultimate and get some usefulness out of it.
No Hunter's Fury yet. Actually could come by 7 and 8 on those ult points. We'll see, we'll see.
That's true. Yeah, she only needs one kill or to grab one of the orbs in order to get hers.
It's not going to be the priority. Trying to sniff out where exactly Nothing to Lose going to try and head in. And it is going to be already a few members waiting. The rest of the team of Nothing to Lose starting to rotate. Actually, maybe it's going to be a bit of a cross. Starry Bun with the spike is going to check out mid.
Here.
I see nothing. Okay, that is going to be the A push.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of communication going on there. Did decide finally that they're going to go over Tay. We do see the Gen.G Tyray is sitting in their spawn just waiting to see which way they need to rotate.
Trades out 1-for-1 to start things off. As everyone heads over to B. Starry Bun is going to get the plant. Actually get somewhat of a setup here defensively.
You should run.
Rest of Team Bumble coming in, but there's that lockdown, and Carly did not manage to find a kill or an orb anywhere. So that lockdown, you either have to find it, kind of manually with a gun, or just knowledge that it's going to last throughout its entire duration, and it does. It doesn't manage to detain anyone. There's still going to be fights going around it. We end up with 3 members left for Bumble. Now 2-1 actually, as I speak.
Placing swarm grenade.
Swarm
grenade out.
Rena is gonna have a tough time, especially as we actually even have. Was that the? Oh, okay, no, I misheard that. Sorry. I was like, the Astral. Where did that come from? Oh, I misheard it. It's gonna get taken down, and the defuse is just barely gonna happen.
Yeah, using that Astra smoke and the wall really hurt Marina there. She wasn't able to get a clear sight onto the spike in order to kill the diffuser. So Gen.G up by 3 now, coming into round 8. I'm curious to see how Nothing to Lose is going to maybe change up their attack patterns a little bit. Haven't been seeing a whole lot of tricks coming out of them, if you want to say that. Lynn does have an operator on Gen.G side. We know that she's deadly with it when she played for Mana Love Frogs. That's going to be very scary.
She's not going to be able to quite use it. Lily was very patient there. Has finally taken our Arcus. Oh boy, it's not. That's anyways, takes down 1-for-1 actually. Both teams end up with 4 as we have Nothing to Lose heading into B. Lily's gonna find a kill and able to heal up as well with the hot hands, and Carly back in Boathouse. Gonna try and slow things down. Trades happens very quick. Carly and Lily both grabbing 1 to end that round. 6-2 now in favor of Bumble.
Yeah, Nothing to Lose was on a bit of a save there. Okay, it does look like there's a timeout coming out. I was just going to say they're probably going to use a timeout soon in order to kind of get a reset here. Have, the 60 seconds to discuss what is Gen.G doing that is stopping us from progressing at this point. And Gen.G is looking very dominant right now. So Nothing to Lose does have to come out with maybe some new tactics, some experimental things that they haven't tried before in a competitive game. Or, I'm not sure, maybe just getting a little bit more aggressive when they go into sites. We have seen them stall out a couple of times where they make to do the execution and then they just stop, allow the defense to rotate in, and then still try to take that site, which has not been working out for them.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's true. It's so difficult though, because for that last round, we didn't even really have the operator come into play. So that's another thing on top of the mess that they've already had to go through to think about. And I mean, fortunately for I guess the situation, once again, that operator's not going to be quite in the right place at the right time, but it's gonna live, it's gonna be able to come back over, and it's still something to consider. As well as just like, yeah, even when they do get the spike down, they haven't actually been able to defend it long enough. So it's a tough series right now. They're not over, but nothing to lose. Can find it troublesome as they move into A. They do very much so rush in there, so maybe thinking along what you were talking about, Wolf.
Spike planted.
That was interesting from them. I don't know why they destroyed the door.
Well, I guess we'll discuss that afterwards. We're about to get more action underway. They got the defensive lockdown coming in as Lily is trying to take on the spike location. Darkstar was there, but not anymore. Scarlet takes him down. And Starrybun takes down Lynn. Is that the operator then? The grabs? Being left alone for now. Bumble at the end, able to get the defuse. Not much that Starrybun could have done about that, but I guess the one thing is the operator's out of the equation. Not that it ever really came into effect, but it's always scary, right?
Yeah, it is. And that's a good point. Like, I'm not even sure Nothing2LOS knew that Lynn had an operator. And she is actually able, we're seeing she's going to buy one up again. She was more than enough money to buy that gun. But yeah, no, I'm a little bit confused about what the plan was for Nothing2LOS to destroy that door. Because normally you use it, as attackers, you use it to cut off an entry point from the defenders, and they didn't have anybody flanking down catwalk, so there was really no point in them destroying the door for themselves.
Yeah, can't provide much more analysis on that. I guess if there was an interview, we'd have to ask them, but
Yeah.
anyhow. Yeah, we'll see if they do it again, and then maybe it was just a mistake. You look on a hindsight, you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. If they do it again, then, it's a pattern, something to it. We'll see. As a spike is over near A, it's not going to be that rush, which it kind of looked like it was going to work, but, ultimately didn't.
Yeah, we did have Ari in the market area making some noise, trying to draw some rotations over towards spawn and B side. Doesn't look like Gen.G fell for it. They're still set up on A.
Smokes and blinds and flashes. Oh my, a lot to take in for that particular fight. Surprisingly, no one dies. Remember, I guess that's what's supposed to happen when so much goes down. I don't know. And the spike is going to be planted just in time. Just in time as Carly, the Hunter's Fury, grabs one, looks for another. Just kind of displaces the rest of Nothing2LOS. And there's the second hop in the game. Might actually contribute this time around. So far, no lineups. There you go. That wasn't even the op though. It's Hannah grabbing 3 and the defuse.
Yeah, and they're actually nobody's picked up the op for Lynn yet, so maybe they're just like, nope, you don't get it anymore.
Smacking her hand away from the cookie jar.
Stop it. Yeah, no, I thought she had gotten that kill on the Omen, but it looked like Hannah snuck it out from underneath her. We are seeing Gen.G. This was kind of expected from them. They are very dominant on this map. They have come in needing to defend their title here, and they are definitely doing that in this game. Nothing2LOS kind of put on the back foot. Again, we're not seeing much come out. Ari's got her knives up. She's going to pop those here in order to save a little bit of economy for the next round.
You should run.
Okay, we got an attacker lockdown this time. Gonna move everyone out of that A location.
It's a fake out though. They're trying to draw people over towards the A site. Ari's pushing here onto B though, so I don't think Gen.G is going to rotate too heavily.
Oh, Ari actually getting some kills.
Spike down.
Not a whole lot though, as Lynn actually comes in with the pistol and the rifle. Not gonna be able to clean things up though. 2-2. The spike now being planted. Now it is only Bob. He didn't actually get the plant. He has to go back into the gun mode here and actually take some fights. 47 seconds to go, so there's time to play this around. Would love to put the time crunch on the other team if possible by planting that spike, but if it's not, then yeah, try and take one, try and take the fights. Finds one, is going to be able to get a scout on the other. Very feasible for Bob. Come back, start bringing it back.
Take flight.
25 seconds though. Getting really scary.
Yeah, she does have some time to play with here, but not much.
The sound is so audible when you're doing anything with the spike, you know? She's gonna wait it out. She's gonna hope to get the kill. Yeah, waiting it out was inaccurate. She was gonna try and get the kill, so you don't have to worry about planting the spike, but that didn't
Last
work out.
round in the half.
No, that was honestly an interesting choice, though, to force that fight rather than allowing Gen.G to kind of dictate when that engagement was going to happen. I could definitely see that having worked for her, potentially, but just didn't quite work out in that manner there because Hannah was prepared for it.
Yeah.
It looks like the attackers are setting up kind of their default 2 over on B, 3 over on A. We have seen Gen.G adjust their defense a little bit. Oh, Ari with an operator first pick onto Lynn.
Nice. It's also kind of showing off a little bit, like, haha, you had 2 operators. You barely got anything. I already got 1. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I think when anytime there's a mirror, I always feel like you're the better one when you win.
Yeah.
I got a little Hunter's Fury action going down. Actually finds a kill too, and this is the best round by far for Nothing to Lose.
Yeah, this has been working out really well for them. They haven't gotten too aggressive pushing onto any site, just really taking their time getting those picks. We're going to see them come up on Carly here in mid. Good trade out.
Best you can hope for is Carly there.
Switching sides.
And now we, I mean, it's always nice to get that win before the round swap, or the map swap there, whatever. Before you swap back into pistols. But
Side swap.
Thank you very much. It was like, there's a word somewhere. Side swap. But I don't know. That still felt like a, not a fluke's not the right word, but was that really enough to give them back the momentum? Maybe. At least to give them a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, so we have Nothing to Lose on defense now. Going to be kind of interesting to see how they use this. They only have the Killjoy in terms of Sentinels and Omen, whereas we had an Astra on Gen.G side who can put out way more smokes than Omen could ever hope to. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how their defensive setup goes. Lynn very ready for Artstar to throw out that knife into A lobby. Looks like it's going to be a hard push here.
Great. I mean, I don't think Nothing to Lose prepared for this. Carly's going to get the information, and that's going to open up the rest of the team to come in here. Starry but not able to do anything up in heaven, which means that Team Bumble is going to be able to set up every which way.
Spike planted.
All across. Get a couple utility down wherever they bought, I guess, down. They bought anything, really just the turret right now. Shock Dart comes out, sure, but Lynn, trying to take a fight. Maybe bit off more than she could chew. Be okay here. Hannah might be able to pick up the rest of the kills. There's 1.
Enemy suppressed.
And well, doesn't pick up the other one. He's able to trade out. And now it's 2-2, but the spike starting to count down, getting very scary. Tyre and Helen to take out 1. Can she actually clean up? No, she cannot. And that is another point on the board for Nothing to Lose.
That was a really great retake for them. We were saying earlier, you know, that Gen.G had a very strong, aggressive push on the site. They put the plant down quickly. It was looking a little scary there for Nothing to Lose, but they were able to do that retake very well, getting those trades off. And poor Tyre just needed to reload her gun at the end there and didn't have any bullets left to fight Artstar. But it looks like we are going to be doing this A hit again. Lynn is over on the B side, just maybe there to make some noise. Watch for any flanks coming in through mid or out of B that her team might have to be careful of.
Keeping back a little bit. I was going to say, letting Nothing to Lose use some utility. It wasn't utility that ended up working out there. Excuse me. It was just the weapons. And now already Nothing to Lose, having a good start to this round. Would Team Bumble even do anything more? They've kind of been hard stuck back here, just losing members. And maybe it's time to play some trickiness. Try and wait them out. Hope that they move away from the A site. Maybe Lynn can do something. Kind of sneaking around middle. Well, not anymore. It's not a sneak anymore when the alarm bot gets activated.
Now, it does still look like A site's going to be the hit. It's a 3v3 over in this area. That's going to give Nothing to Lose some information that Gen.G is still here.
Lane was, you know, kind of the X factor
enemy
perhaps, coming
remaining.
in from a different direction,
Spike
but she really couldn't
down
get
A.
very much. And now it's only Hannah gonna be, you know, waiting. I don't think she can grab the spike, take down 4, and plant it in 30 seconds.
left.
It'd be quite something if she could, though.
Yeah, with the classic versus SMG's not gonna go very well. And there it is, the end of that round. We're gonna go into the third round now of the second half. Things are gonna start changing now. You know, third round, the team that lost the first 2, or both teams, even if they did a 1v1. But right now, Nothing to Lose has won those 2. They're actually buying up not much. We do have Bob on the Ares, but she bought that last round, so it's still a bonus. Just Ari grabbing a Vandal versus the rifles from Gen.G. We see Gen.G looking at mid, that those long sight lines where the rifles are really going to start shining for them if they can get Nothing to Lose to engage with them in that area.
Yeah, exactly. If Nothing to Lose pokes their head out and tries to take some duels, I mean, that's kind of their bad. Better guns are going to win. So they got to play it close to the vests and take some corners, perhaps. Ari takes a shot. He's going to inform the rest of the team. This might be the intention. Actually, the spike's been left behind, so this is actually a bit of poking, prodding. And then it seems like, well, that's a bit of a waste here from Bob because, yeah, it seems like Gen.G are actually going to move over into A.
Yeah, not a bad call there. There's only 2 defenders sitting on the A site from Nothing to Lose. And actually, they're not even on A site. They're over by the garden tree area. So if Gen.G can get onto the site, it's pretty open for them to set up a good post-plant defense.
It's happening right now as we speak. They actually get the plant. There we go. It's Bob
Spike
finding
down
Hannah pretty
A.
quickly there. Rotate fast enough. Couple of picks left and right as we are down to 3v3.
Yeah, and the spike's not planted yet, so they have 15 seconds. They have to get that plant down.
Yep. Starting to tick down. 10 seconds.
seconds
The
left.
plant this time
Players
is going to go through. Now it's only Carly, though. Picks up 1, picks up 2. But there is a third right behind that is just was... No one could have taken down all 3 the way they were coming in. So Starry Bun's going to get the defuse. And we're seeing Nothing to Lose start to bridge that gap. We're getting a little bit worried for them, but doing pretty good on Defender.
Yeah, and this is, again, part of what we were talking about in that first matchup where a lot of these maps are very defender-sided. So even if you're not doing great on the attack, if you know you're going into a second half, you're going to be defending, you don't have to... I mean, you should obviously still worry, but it's not as concerning as if you were losing on defense and then having to go into attack. Mm-hmm. So Nothing to Lose, definitely more than able to come back from this, close up that gap, and even surpass Gen.G in order to get this map win. We'll have to see how they do, because Gen.G's taking their time out now. It's a good chance for this. You know, they've been a little back and forth here for this half, kind of need a reset, maybe a longer time to plan out what they need to do for these next couple of rounds on the attack.
And we've kind of seen this over and over where the timeout happens, and it's not necessarily the round of the timeout that is where we see the fruits of the communication. You know, we see it maybe in like the next round. So, you know, for this round, for instance, Gen.G, not a lot of cash. I mean, they might be thinking, okay, this is how it's going to go here. Even if we lose, we'll still have the next round to really work through. But see if you can get this one done. That'd be so darn nice. A lot of sheriffs, though, against not just rifles, but also an operator.
Yeah, Ari does have that op. She's in the mid, looking towards the top of Cat. Not where we're going to see Gen.G come into the attack here, though. They're heading towards mid from B side.
Oh, Art Star. Oh, gosh, there's so many people. She just started firing, which, okay, there you go.
Spike down.
She would have cleaned everyone up even faster than what happened, and it was still pretty darn fast with the help of the op as well, and Hannah...
Turrets destroyed.
Can't even back away. Can't even back away. Flawless, indeed.
Yeah, as you mentioned, though, that's... I kind of want to say that's typical of what we see after the timeout rounds, you know? A team takes timeout, they go into a save round, and then it's the second round after the timeout where we see the strategies change, see them make a momentum shift and start playing a little bit differently and grabbing some rounds for themselves. Really curious to see if that's going to happen here. Ari does still have that op on defense. She's over on the B side, very far away from where the execution appears to be about to go down from Gen.G.
Lily's got a run it back. If needed, I suppose, actually. It might not even be needed, as Carly has, has got the Albot come in and getting that information. Lily could just use it to actually start, dueling as they enter into A. It's becoming increasingly obvious, I believe, that A might just be the plan. Nothing to lose. Gonna start collecting members. We actually still have Gen.G a bit stuck in. There we go. To run it back. There's the face first. Gonna dive in. It's gonna see that it's actually still open. So they'll go down, and then they can set up defensively on site.
Yeah, and that was really good from Gen.G. Artstar popped up the command alt. They just let that run its course, let it do its thing before they decided to do their execution here.
Nice crossfire set up here by Lynn and Carly. That's not quite going to get a lot. It's actually even here, 3-3. The spike's starting to count down. We do have the attacker lockdown as Ari's got blades, looks for another kill. Not going to be grabbed. It's still 2-2. Tyree, though, down in hell. Sneaky sneak. And that's now 2 for Team Bumble, still left alive. Bob's going to try. But I think the time's already too far gone. Having the dual Hannah as well. Yeah. Well, I mean, good attempt, but there you have it. It's the second round after the timeout that really sees the fruit get dropped there. So, nice.
It's very interesting how these patterns are emerging. But yeah, definitely good for Gen.G. That's their first point on the board for this half. Hopefully they can hold on to that momentum a little bit. We do see that Ari on defense is able to buy up that operator again. But again, she's not in the best position according to what Gen.G is going to be doing for their attack here. She's over on B side, and Lynn is heading in that direction, but I don't think she's really going to give Ari the opportunity to get that pick.
Seems like the operator, typically so great on this map. Really, very small parts. Seems to be in the wrong position on either side. And so they haven't really had to play around it too much.
Flashbang.
Oh, wow, the flashbang actually blinded quite a few people, but didn't result in any pickups. It's actually Lily takes down 2. And that timeout really helping apparently, because Gen.G are on their way to yet another round pickup. Getting ever closer to victory, especially as Lynn takes out Starry Bomb. There's the plants. The operator is here. Start getting some picks if they allow you. And what if happens if you actually get down on site and actually start having a brawl? The operator can be a bit difficult in that situation. This is down. Oh, Bob doing pretty darn well, taking 2. And maybe a third, not quite. Spike is always going to have to be the next obstacle. So, just want to give a respect to Bob, but that was already, it seemed like a foregone conclusion for Team Bumble to take that round.
Yeah, just what you were saying though, with Arya on that operator, doing a retake with the op is very difficult, especially when you only have 2 of your players up, because it essentially takes one player out from being able to go down and do trades on site, which is what they needed there. They needed to be able to have Ari and Bob drop down, do that trade in hell, one of them watching long. It just wasn't possible with the operator. And we're seeing that it's a little bit sketchy here for Nothing to Lose. They are able to get some rifles, but there's also some SMGs. Ari being very aggressive there, getting that first pick though.
Yeah, pretty quickly traded back. Lane's got some knives. But again, another trade. Not going too poorly for Nothing to Lose, considering their situation. Still in an uphill battle. Especially as they... Well, actually, it's going to be 2-2 on the site, perhaps. Oh, no, Bob. Bob is running away from the site, but might find Carly. She's actually quite well hidden, so I guess
missed.
not. Carly gonna look?
Alarm bot, bomb grenade out.
I don't know. No? Okay, so Bob's coming in on the flank, and Gen.G's not going to know she's back there. Because Carly did not see her going up cat.
What's happening here? Turn around the Rosie. Nicely shot. Lily's still alive, but I do believe she's known about. They're going to play around it a little
30
bit.
seconds left. Last player
She's
standing.
going to get taken out, so that's only
Spike
Carly,
down
but she
A.
quickly grabs one. See if she can do anything more. I mean, she's going to have to go for the kills at this point. I don't know if the spike's going to be captured again. Those are both are roughly where they are. Oh, the Nanoswarm comes down, forces her out of position. She's going to take the duel with one. Still alive. Might still be able to do this. Still goes to pistols and can't win the duel. It's still a very good attempt by Carly, but that is going to be nothing to lose, bringing it up to 8-11.
Yeah. And that's going to be good for nothing to lose. They still have quite a bit of a gap to close here before Gen.G gets onto match point. Gen.G just needing 2 rounds in order to take this map. But looks like we're doing the same sort of split. This one has worked for Gen.G in the past. Didn't quite work out that time, but
I got you,
having
bro.
4 over on A, Lynn's the only one over on B side, just making some noise, pushing into the mid there. 3 defenders on B, which is a little bit unusual. We normally see the 3 over on A. So Nothing to Lose has definitely changed that up, assuming that Gen.G might try to hit the B site this time. But it's going to be an incorrect call from them.
Decent amount of killjoy utility on that A. So buy time, let you alert your team. Especially if you're able to see just how many are flooding through. And it is going to be the entire Gen.G team trying to get through. It's Marina and Hell that's getting some pretty good pickups. There's a second one, but has to reload, changes to a pistol, finds a third. I mean, excellent decision-making in a very, very small amount of time. But anyway, it was inevitable she was going to pick off. She really took down a lot with her.
Yeah, no, that was great from Marina.
One enemy remaining.
Brother.
Bob taking down Lily, which means Hannah is all alone. And that's going to be a cleanup for Nothing to Lose. Even better one, I believe, than last round. So they're really starting to bring it back.
Yeah, 2 rounds off of Gen.G's lead here. Definitely could see them coming back to tie it up. This is the close game that we were predicting we were going to see from both of these teams here. You know, first half got a little bit sketchy because Gen.G won, what was that, like 8 or 9 rounds just straight out. Wasn't looking good for Nothing to Lose coming into this second half, but they've definitely brought it back since they've been on the defense. They're swapping it up again. We do see the 3 this time over on A. Omen just chilling out in mid a little bit. Very easy for her to rotate towards the A site should that be the site of execution again, or towards B if Bob needs some backup.
That's the nice part about playing that mid a little bit. You can respond to either one, but then also see sometimes some of these mid pushes, which it hasn't really been popular in this particular series, but I think last series we saw a decent amount. So yeah, it's trying to cover their tracks, cover their bases, or in Valorant term, cover their sites. But they actually aren't quite sure what's going down, and it's gonna be Gen.G actually pushing into B, which is pretty open.
Take flight.
It is very open. Nothing to Lose, kind of wanting to protect B, but also kind of expecting that they're going to be going A like normal. Here comes the Astra ultimate down, putting up that wall to cut off the rest of the site.
Brutal to get through that. I think he's gonna play on the other side just a little bit while Run It Back is in effect.
30 seconds left.
Done. No detain from the attack lockdown. Couple ults put into
Spike
this
planted.
B take, and that's, I mean, that actually is, for what we knew, that was maybe more than necessary, but there it is. It's done, and now we're gonna have some fights going down. 4-3 in favor of Gen.G, and the spike has been planted. Now it's time is of the essence on Nothing to Lose's side. Not going too poorly, 2-2, but Bob gets taken out, all down to Artstar. Knowing at least where one of the opposing agents is, but not necessarily Tyre. Maybe guessing it's going to be able to duel Hana a little bit. I don't think she knows about Tyre, though.
No, she doesn't.
Like, jump on top of her. There you go. And trying to get out of there before the spike does implode.
Yes, and that's going to put Gen.G up on match point here. definitely putting the pressure on. Nothing to lose. They need those 3 rounds. They've done it before. We've seen them do 4 rounds at the beginning of this half, straight in a row. So not counting them out here, they definitely could come back, put us into overtime that I was predicting earlier. But it does look like Gen.G is doing their kind of typical setup here, heading towards A site with that spike. They're making a liar out of me as all of them immediately rotate towards B.
Tricky. They're tricking even the commentators. Well, we have a lockdown defensively, so that's going to be a bit bothersome. Marino with the judge as well. And she is in position. I mean, when she figures out that this actually is going to be a B push, she could back away and put that down. Or just try and take it with the judge. I mean, I'm a fan of that option, too.
Swarm grenade out.
The judge is really strong, especially if they're not expecting you to just be sitting here. Oh, but the blind.
Down B.
Yeah, I thought she still had a chance to at least get a shot off, you know, but it didn't actually happen. And while I'm speaking, hello, Gen.G take the last round. And thanks to Lynn taking down 2, so that was pretty quick. It does end up going the way of Gen.G Team Bumble. Not entirely surprising, but as you were saying, like kind of predicting I just lost the word. The overtime, there we go. You can see how that prediction could have come true. I mean, that was a fairly even map, even though Gen.G Team Bumble are still that slightly better team there. The second map could be a whole other situation.
Yeah, it definitely could. And we'll be coming to that second map shortly, just having a quick break here before we come back.